Hi everyone, and welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be doing the full yogic breath, and I'm going to be talking about how this practice can help you and the two different ways in which you can really easily use this beautiful and really effective pranayama practice at home in your own time. So the full yogic breath is one of the first things I learned as a yoga teacher. So the full yogic breath is a really powerful pranayama technique, but it's also super simple. It's one of the first things I learned as a yoga teacher in my yoga teacher training. So the full yogic breath works, or the three-part breath it's sometimes called, works by dividing the inhale and the exhale into three sections in the body. First of all, you send your breath down into the lower belly, and this allows you to breathe really deeply. Then you allow your breath, your inhale, to float and expand up into the ribs, so this part of your body. And when you breathe into this part of your body, you can get a full sense of the expansion outwards, backwards and to the sides, the way the ribs expand as we breathe. Then you allow your breath to float up into the upper part of your chest. We'll start off by breathing into each of these spaces in turn to really get a feel for what it feels like before we go into the whole sequence. Now when we're ready to exhale, we exhale from the upper chest first, then from the ribs, and then from the lower belly. And we begin with the lower belly again. So we breathe in a sequence. This full yogic breath or three-part breath is amazing for lots of different reasons. First of all, it focuses your mind. So when you're feeling quite stressed or anxious or you can't sleep, it really gives your mind something to focus on, i.e. the breath and a process, a sequence, a method. Second of all, it really allows you to begin to foster a different relationship with your breath and the idea that you can actually control your breathing and really influence your nervous system. When we breathe into those three parts of the body, we develop a really big, long, deep breath. So we're using way more lung capacity than you normally would in day-to-day life. It can be really helpful, maybe before or after you do this exercise, just to walk around and notice the part of your body that you're using, just as you're breathing while you're using your phone, which quite famously we apparently hold our breath a lot while we're doing things on our phone. While you're driving, when you're speaking to somebody, just notice what part of the body you're using to breathe. Quite often people breathe very shallowly throughout the day and only use the tiniest amount of their natural lung capacity. The full yogic or three-part breath really helps us to improve our lung capacity. So I've heard of lots of different studies where people have used these kind of pranayama practices to help very gently increase people's lung capacity, people with COPD, scarring from pneumonia, COVID like symptoms. So it can really help you basically really get a different relationship with your lungs, with your breath. And one of the main things is as you breathe deeply, you let your body know that you are safe. You tell your nervous system that you're safe and that it's okay for the nervous system to relax, to go into parasympathetic rest and digest, or rest and relax mode. So you can transform your energy by using this breath, just like lots of yoga practices. You can literally transform your energy. With this practice, you can do it either lying down, which I would suggest in the beginning, or you can do it seated. For today, I'm going to do it seated because it's easier to show you the different parts of the body that we're going to breathe into. If you're doing it lying down, bring your hands to rest on the lower belly and close your eyes. And don't be surprised if you feel really quite sleepy and relaxed afterwards. Another benefit of this practice is that it is gently energizing. Why? Because we're using a huge amount of lung capacity, which means that we're actually oxygenating the blood more fully than we normally would. So you might feel relaxed yet tingly. You might feel sleepy yet also quite alert. So take a note of how you feel after the practice. For this little video, we're going to be doing it only for about 5 minutes or more. And I would begin by just starting off with 5 minutes, but you can build up to 10, 15, 20 minutes, as long as you like, essentially. But go slowly, enjoy the practice, and let's get started. So as you can see, I've got my lovely fairy assistant Rocky here with me today. It's really, really hot in here, so I'm hoping this breath will really help to cool us down. So to begin this practice, come into a really comfortable seat, or as I said before, you can come lying down on the floor. If you're lying on the floor, you might like to bring your feet onto the floor and bend the knees and just allow the knees to roll in towards each other if that feels comfortable for you. Rest your hands on the lower belly. If you're coming into a comfortable seat, you can sit like me, cross-legged in a chair, in bed, wherever feels best, but make sure the spine is nice and long. Switch off your phone or turn it on silent and make sure you won't be interrupted for the next few minutes. So we're going to start this practice by bringing the awareness into the 3 parts of the body that we breathe into. So bringing the hands to the lower belly. And if you'd like to, you can just touch the fingertips together as you spread the hands across your belly. Close your eyes and just breathe normally for a few moments. Notice if you're holding any tension in the belly. If you are, let it all hang out. Nobody's watching. Just relax and release your lower belly as you breathe. And whenever you feel like you've settled into this position, take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose and send the breath all the way down into the lower belly, into the hands. And perhaps you can notice the hands just gently expanding and then just gently contracting as you breathe in and out of the nose. So staying here, deep belly breaths into the hands for a few moments. Try not to force anything, but instead think about sending the breath down into the belly. Let it be relaxed, let it be soft. And notice how it feels to breathe into this part of your body. And when that feels quite natural, take a deep breath in. And exhale, And then lift the hands and bring them so that the thumbs are on the sides of the ribs. And then bring the rest of the fingers just underneath the bust line here if you're a lady, or around the chest if you're a man. And we're going to now close the eyes, continue to breathe, but this time focus your breath into the rib space. And again, see if you can notice the hands expanding and contracting. Try to really focus the breath just on the ribs and feel them almost like a pair of bellows. Imagine the lungs as bellows within the rib cage, expanding and contracting. If you're lying on the floor, you might notice how the ribs also expand down towards the floor. If you're sitting, away into the back behind you. So once you've got a really good sense of how it feels to breathe into this rib space, take a nice slow deep breath in. And exhale, release the hands. And then bringing the fingertips, and sorry if this rustles my mic, bring the fingertips up onto your collarbone. So just resting your fingertips here, and let the rest of your hands just rest on the chest. And now we're going to focus the breath into this just top part of your lungs, the upper chest. Now with this one, you might notice a really big difference. It's a shallow breath, so you might start to feel your heart rate rise. That's entirely natural. We won't be here for very long, but just notice the difference when we just let the breath stay right at the top of the lungs, breathing into the hands and the upper chest. So when you're ready, close your eyes and begin. And then when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, release the hands. Beautiful. Now we're going to move into the full practice. So as I said before, if you're lying down, bring both hands onto the belly, or if you'd like, you can bring one hand on the belly and one hand onto the heart. So again, closing the eyes, relaxing the belly. As women, we are told to, men as well, we are told to hold the belly in. I know I was as a child, but what this can do is really create a sense of tension throughout your whole day. I'm giving you permission here to let it all hang out, let your belly be soft. Really important here to let the belly be soft. So breathing here just naturally for a few moments. Your awareness on your breath. And then whenever you're ready, take a nice big deep inhale and send the breath down into the lower belly. And then let it expand into the ribs and then up into the upper chest. When you're ready to exhale, exhale from the upper chest, the ribs and the belly in sequence. Inhale into the belly, the ribs and the upper chest. Exhale from the chest, the ribs and the belly. Rocky's having a dream. Inhale into the belly, the ribs, upper chest. Exhale from the chest, the ribs and the belly, going at your own pace. Let it be seamless and smooth, like an ocean wave washing in and washing out. Inhaling to the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhaling from the chest, the ribs and the belly. Inhaling to the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhale from the chest, the ribs, the belly. Keep going at your own pace. And as you inhale, really imagine that ocean wave entering the body, a wave of air. Let it fill your lungs, and then as you exhale, let that wave recede like a lapping tide. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping your mind purely focused on the breath. Last one, inhale to the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhale from the chest, the ribs and the belly. Hold the breath out for a moment, release the hands, and then take a nice slow deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just pausing in stillness, allowing your breath to flow however it wants to. And really just notice. Notice any sensations in your body. Notice your breath. Notice your mind's activity. Just notice. Nice and slowly take another deep breath in and out. And gently begin to bring some movement back into your body. However feels best for you. And if you've been lying down, take your time to slowly come back up to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me for this full yogic breath practice. Let me know how you enjoyed the practice. This is a great one, I would say, if you can't sleep, if you wake up in the middle of the night. It's a fantastic way to really help relax your body, focus your mind. It's also really good before a meditation practice. Anytime you feel super stressed and you just need to relax. I wouldn't suggest this one for first thing in the morning unless you're doing a more advanced version. If you have any questions, please do get in touch and let me know how you enjoyed this practice. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next time.